Hello, and welcome to today's edition of Route 664, the Road to Human Kindness. Route 664. 664. What is 664? 664 is a section of the tax code that is the same as a 401k or a 1031 or a 1035 or a 529. Similar to those numbers that you're aware of, that you've heard of, that you know what they are. But nobody really knows what a 664 is, and what's what we want to do. We want to educate you about 664. It's our hypothesis that the more you learn about and become familiar with 664 as a way to solve financial and planning problems, you're going to use it more prevalently. You're going to be able to use it when you need it, to know when to recognize when to use it, and it'll be available to you because you'll know how to use it properly. That's what the objective of everything we're doing here on Endow America's Route 664 program is all about. We want you to learn about 664. To that end, we have actually created the Discovery 664 Academy. And this is a place where you can learn about this process, 664, how to utilize charity to increase your income, reduce your taxes, and make for a better community. This is the objective of Endow America. We want to change America from an indebted America to an endowed America. And the only way that we can do that is through these devices that Congress gave us in their infinite wisdom all those years ago. Why aren't people using them? We believe it's because people don't know about them. They don't know how to use them. They're not familiar with them. So we've embarked on the process of educating you. Now, you have an option. You have quite a few options. When you go to our new website, Discovery 664, discovery664.com, you'll see the courses are there. You'll find the academy there. This is what it looks like when you go to the landing page. You'll see Discovery 664 Academy. In order to utilize the academy or to join the academy, you have to register first, and that's up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen where it says log in and register. The first thing you do is have to register, and then you go down. After you've registered, you'll go to Course 0, the orientation course. Hover over that, and that will open up with an explanation of how this works. You pay a $49 tuition to subscribe to the academy. That is a monthly fee that will be taken from whatever resource you give us. A credit card, those using PayPal is what we do. That $49, once you pay the first $49, that will open up all of the courses and make all of the courses available to you. There's no particular order in which you have to take the courses if you're looking to solve a particular problem. So the first way that you can utilize our academy is if you have a tax transaction, if you have a tax situation that's coming up, and it's related to one of the things that we're showing on our screen, where you can actually deal with the problem, like it's appreciated stock or if it's commercial real estate. These are properties or assets that you've had for a while that have gained in value, and you want to see how you can make a transaction that's tax-free, that's tax-deductible, and that increases your income. This is where you go. You go to find that particular course. Right now, there's 8 on the site. We're going to be adding as many as 30 more. These courses will be about all these different topics. So let's go back to this transaction issue. You have a tax problem that you're trying to find a way to resolve, whether it's an estate tax problem or selling a property problem. Check out which of these courses might be applicable to help you solve that problem. If you want to learn about child remainder trusts, there'll be courses about child remainder trusts and see how they work. Those are the 664 trusts. If you want to learn how a pooled income fund works, that's also a form of a 664 trust. If you want to learn how a charitable gift annuity works, you'll find that as well. So the course structure is there. You enroll the first time to join the academy. That $49 is a monthly charge until you stop it. Just send us an email and stop it whenever you're ready. And you can find a transaction that you want to solve. Now, you can take it a step further. You can become educated in more ways than just a transaction to find out what types of transaction there might be in the future. that might be where this might be usable. Also, to find out about financial planning from a charitable approach, using the charitable and spiritual approach, you'll be able to determine whether or not there is a way for you to help yourself get more financially sound and be able to deal with whatever problems may come up in the future by having yourself protected against hazards of financial hazards, and having yourself get the documents that you need and all the things you'll find in the course structure that we're going to be creating over time with the Academy. So you can join now and you can see these first 8 courses, and as each week goes by, we're going to be adding more courses. The website itself, discovery664.com, is also a place where you can find our podcasts, our weekly podcasts of Funny Money, and also Less is More with Less. These are 2 podcasts that one deals with the spiritual world and deals with your spirituality and how your spirituality and your money come together in a way. The other one is more information about the course structure and why you should be looking at certain courses, and that's what you're going to find on More with Less. So make sure you join and subscribe to the Academy, to the podcast, by going to discovery664.com. And I want to take a little bit of time now and talk to you about the use of these 664 trusts. As I said in the very beginning, the more the people know about what these are or how 664 applies to them, the more likely they are to use it. You obviously can't use something you don't know about. So, I mean, my belief is that if you know about it and don't use it, that's one thing. But if you don't know about it and can't use it, that's a different issue. But Congress was very smart. They created this section of the code to allow you to be able to leave something to charity. And if you make that bargain, you're going to leave something to charity guaranteed on a guaranteed basis, then you'll get lower taxes while you're alive. And how that's structured, it's in the form of the 664 devices, these trusts, these charitable. Some call them charitable remainder trusts. Some call them split interest trusts. There's a lot of different names that they've given to these, but they all come from that section of the code 664. That's why we call this Route 664, the road to human kindness, because what happens is, using 664, you get to the point where you can create human kindness and you can endow your community. We use the theory of social charity, which is that 664 equals endowment squared, E squared. That endowment is the endowment that you create for yourself, and then the endowment that you're going to pass on to the community when you pass or after a term of years. There's a lot of ways that you can design these charitable trusts. I invite you to look at the sections on the courses on the charitable remainder trust to get a better handle on how these apply. And again, you can do that at the Academy by becoming a enrollee at the Academy, registering and enrolling. So we've gotten to a crossroads, I think, in the overall world history, in a sense. We are crossing from what I believe to be the political world to the economic world. We've actually crossed into the economic world many years ago, but it's taken time to adjust. And I think what you're seeing now is a little bit of how the political world has gotten to the point where it's no longer being as effective as it should be, because its time has passed. And now we have to deal with the economy and how the economic world is going to work for all of us. And you can be a part of that economic world by becoming an economic citizen, by becoming somebody that's aware of what you need to do to take care of your own personal well-being and how to take care of your own personal finances. And that's also a part of what we're providing on the Academy site. We want you to be able to wend your way through the building of your endowment and then creating and leaving your endowment behind. That endowment that you create can be as big as you want it to be using 664. You can build it with non-cash assets that have grown and where you have capital gain that you don't want to pay a tax on, or income that you don't want to pay a tax on, recapturing, depreciation, whatever it is that you're trying to, that problem that you're trying to solve with regard to your taxes, because you're not duty-bound to pay the most that the law extracts. You have the right and privilege to reduce your taxes as much as legally possible, and that's what you should be striving to do. You can do that on your own by adopting this concept of the economic citizen, where you're going to be dealing with this individually. It's your personal well-being that you're looking after. And you have a great tool to do that with 664. It is extremely powerful. It's a way for you to avoid capital gains tax, lower your income tax, eliminate estate tax, create a tax-free environment in which you can grow your assets. You can leave income to others. You can create an income stream that you can use to live on in your retirement years. You have the right to change who the end beneficiary is going to be while you're alive. You can change whoever the end beneficiary is going to become. That end beneficiary is going to be a 501c3. And you have the privilege, of course, of creating your own 501c3 device using a donor-advised fund or creating your own foundation. Those can be recipients of your ultimate gifts, and then that can be passed. That spiritual thought can be passed on to your kids, and they can use your spirituality and go into the community with that and help solve community problems, which is the best form of human kindness. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Our protagonist, Jack, was a 65-year-old retiree who'd always been known for his offbeat sense of humor and love for numbers. He'd been searching for a way to support his community while securing his retirement income. One day, while browsing through the depths of the internet, Jack stumbled upon an article about Tax Code 664 and its potential benefits for charitable planning.
Hello, welcome to today's edition of Route 664, the road to human kindness.
Curious and excited, Jack decided to delve further into this mysterious code. He spent hours poring over tax law books and articles until he became a self-proclaimed expert on the subject. He'd tell his friends, "Who needs Sudoku when you've got tax codes to crack?" Armed with his newfound knowledge, Jack approached his financial advisor, Martha, and shared his idea of utilizing Tax Code 664 to set up a charitable trust. He was convinced that this strategy would benefit not only his retirement, but also his beloved community, particularly the revitalization of the local park. With a twinkle in her eye, Martha acknowledged Jack's enthusiasm and praised his resourcefulness. Together, they devised a plan to establish a charitable trust that provided Jack with a stable retirement income and directed the remaining funds towards renovating the park. Word of Jack's innovative approach spread like wildfire, inspiring others in the community to explore the potential of Tax Code 664. Soon, more and more people began implementing charitable planning strategies to support various community projects, ranging from building a new animal shelter to establishing a local art center. As Jack took his daily strolls through the newly renovated park, he couldn't help but smile. His Tax Code 664 adventure had not only secured his retirement, but also transformed the community in more ways than he could have ever imagined. With a wink and a grin, Jack would often say, "Looks like the joke's on boring retirement plans." Who knew tax codes could be so much fun? Who? Remember, your financial journey can be both impactful and entertaining when you explore the potential of charitable planning with Tax Code 664. Visit endowamerica.com. With the right knowledge and guidance, anyone can turn their dreams into a reality. Leave a lasting legacy that benefits generations to come. endowamerica.com. Plan, prosper, pass on. The power of 664.
And welcome back to Route 664, your spiritual path to financial freedom. Before we dive in, a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the content and want to learn more about year-end tax planning using charity, make sure you go to Route 664, Academy Discovery 664, and check out the website there, and you'll get a lot of information from the Academy course material. The catalog is there. And we're joined now by Wanda.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing good, Wanda.
Good. It's good to be here.
So you had another book I saw just go by briefly. There was one, what was that other one?
Social Security. Social Security.
Yeah.
Remember that book?
I do remember
It's
that
a
book.
fine read. It's a quick read.
Yeah.
An easy read so you understand exactly what you're missing.
Exactly. What are you missing?
Social Security, the book. how tax code 664 saved a Generation Alpha. You know, when you make a long title, sometimes it gets tied up in your head. Anyway, and the nation. Saved a nation, a whole nation. I'm looking forward to 2050.
2050 is the year that we think we will reach
we can get it done.
We'll have the best that we can have in both worlds.
Imagine,
yeah. And that's what we are. We're imagining that there's a way for us to solve our overall economic problems and our individual economic problems. And by 2050, maybe the debt would be eliminated by using 664 if everybody does it. More people that do it, the better we are. So let's talk about spirituality a little bit, because I know how important that is in your work with what we're doing.
It's what I love to talk about.
You bring it into the foreground whenever we're at meetings, and we'll make sure that we're all spiritually. Well, I think our hats are on, right?
That when it comes to talking about money, there's a separation of, the whole thing that the haves and have-nots, and people are constantly chasing the almighty dollar. And I think that sometimes we've forgotten that we are bigger than money, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And yes, it's woo-woo, but woo-woo works. One of my favorite quotes. Woo-woo works.
Okay.
It's quantum physics. So, when people get wrapped up in spirituality, I love the whole, how I've always thought that science and spirituality easily mix. It just one explains the other. And so if you are open-minded, you can experience a lot more in life, and that includes money. So I think mindset is important, getting the right mindset. And there's a poverty mindset, a lack mindset of thinking, and that there's not enough, and we all have to grab and get ours, and it's us against them. But if we work together, as in a tax code 664 way, saving your money, getting your money, yes, acquiring your money, and then doing what you need to do for yourself. And then when you're done, you go on to another place, leave the rest for your community to use. And that's your legacy. That's a great legacy to leave. It doesn't, your legacy can be your kids, it can be your business, it can be other things. But what you do and leave for mankind, humankind, I think is much more important. Of course, once you're gone, so you're not like hanging on to it, but it'd be nice to remember.
Are you sure about that?
Are you gone? Well, gone is a crazy word, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, you leave a mark. I hope you leave a mark. I was watching the tribute to the Heat tribute. The most amazing thing was renaming the basketball court and
tribute
to the greatest coach of all time, the greatest basketball coach of all time.
Don't know who that is. Put it in the comments below.
Really? Seriously?
Wait. Did he do the Lakers too?
Yes.
Is that Lakers guy?
Yes.
Did he die?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I was like, what? I didn't know. What's his name? I can't remember.
It's a test.
Oh, is it on the test for the for my certification?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't remember. All right, leave it in the comments, and we'll get back to it.
Anyway, the point is that his 30 years in basketball of coaching, and Pat Riley was Pat Riley was an amazing coach, and they named the floor after Pat. So it's there indelibly, and he was very moved by it.
So it's the Riley floor?
Pat Riley floor. Pat Riley.
Pat Riley floor after a person?
Pat Riley court at the KC Arena.
Huh.
But that's quite an honor, and that's your permanency. It's a permanent thing. I think all of us would like to have that. There's an anonymous. I don't know who wrote it, but somebody said that man is not afraid of dying. He's afraid of dying with insignificance, and that's. I think that is something in all of us. I think we're put on earth for a purpose, and we don't know what that is sometimes. It takes us a long time to find it.
I think the purpose of life is to enjoy it, ultimately. Okay. I think that's the number one purpose, and not to get wrapped up in what other people think that you need to do to enjoy your life. So live your life and let other people live theirs, and encourage other people to live happily their own lives.
We go back to the interview
tricky.
with God. It was God was very poignant with his remarks when I interviewed him. If you haven't seen that,
Does
you
God
need
only
to check
speak
in
to
on our
you?
podcast. Huh?
Does God only speak to you?
No. I listen. I'm very, very.
How'd you get that interview?
I'm very creative in my dreaming. Yeah. And I did borrow that from somebody else. I'm not sure who wrote that, but that was, unfortunately, I didn't write all of that. That would have been really good if I did.
Well, there's a wonderful book series by Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God, which I think there's audiobooks. It's great to listen to because I can't remember the actors, but there's some really great actors doing the voices, and it's just really cool.
What's the relationship between God and genius and your genius?
Finding your genius is discovering your God self, really. Yeah. It's your that higher. We're again. I've said this. We're born, and as babies, we're born worthy, and we're born worthy of love and all the good things in life. And then, as we grow up, we have to try and fit in, and our parents tell us to do this, and we do things. Little kids do things to please adults because they don't know any better. But sometimes you're adults. You adults are little nuts, and not so. We're not living. We're only living the way we know, and we're living by what other people have told us works, what we observe works, and children are sponges. And whether you think you're telling them to do something, they're watching you. And my mother always said, "Do as I say, not as I do." But they're watching what you do.
Absolutely. But I think what's interesting about genius is also, I think. Kids are born with genius.
Yeah, they are.
They're actually at their genius when they're born. Because they are doing exactly what they have to do and love to do every day.
Even more so before that, before that age of 7, where they're just playing and they're talking to themselves, and you just watch them and they're just having conversations, and they fall down and they look around to see if, am I okay? And you're like, hey, you're okay. Or you can say, oh, are you okay? No, you're okay. Yeah. You're okay. Just
how you're taught, how your surroundings affect you, the environment that you're brought up in. So what do you think is the ultimate outcome of being able to work at your genius? I mean, what is the feeling that you get at
joy?
That? I know you love that. I know you do that right now.
Pure joy.
Yeah.
And when you're doing something that you love to do, the flow is just, you don't have to struggle. There's no struggle in it. And the creativity is the flow of it all. And the creativity is that God spirit in you. And you can call it God, you can call it universe, call it what you want, but it is that creative power that gave us life. I mean, a sperm and an egg just get together. How does that all work? How does that all happen? I mean, that we are walking miracles.
Yep.
Our planet is floating in space. That's a miracle. There are miracles around us every day. So let go of all that material stuff and figure out what it is you love. Whatever it is that brings you joy and love, that's the God spirit in you.
So how do people not think about money? It's hard. How do you train yourself? Do you have to have confidence over before you can stop thinking about it?
We need to know that money is just something that we created to help us do things. Money, the tangible thing, has no real meaning whatsoever, except this: if I give you a bunch of these and you agree and we agree that it's worth this, and that's where it gets tricky. It's like, I don't know that it's really worth this, but okay, if that's what you're asking.
Yep.
And we lose the value. We lose our own value sometimes if we just place all the value on the money, on the paper, as opposed to the value that we are and our creative value. It would be really nice in the future that if our value is measured by the joy we bring. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be cool? Like if you could bring joy into the world, that is your wealth. That is how you are compensated on this planet. I would love for everyone to be paid in joy, or joy to be our next exchange. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
That's a good thing. I like that.
All right,
so we can have.
We're evolving.
We are evolving. We are evolving, and what we're really what you and I are talking about right now is what they call the soft side of philanthropy, which is the real joy that you get out of giving and being kind to others and being of value in the community, but basically doing what you love to do that. That's even more important. And then there's also the what they call the hard side, which is the part that
it is hard,
which some people have a hard time getting over, which is the financial side and the planning side and the endowment engineering side. And endowment engineering is really one of the other important elements of to get back to our academy, because it's important that you know that there's 3 different ways that you can use the academy. One is to do figure out a transaction where you're having a problem. You can find the transaction in the course material. The second is if you want to get a financial education, be better educated about how to use charity and spirituality in your planning, but also lower your taxes as a result of that. Also help others to learn how to do that as well. Not so formal, but it's an education in full where you can get a handle on how to do financial planning for yourself, very basic financial planning for yourself. And then the third category is where you can actually become a certified endowment engineer and become a professional in this process and learn how to help other people get their joy, how to get them to reach their level of love of humanity and human kindness that's built into them. They just haven't had a chance to free it. So we want to help them get there, and that's what the endowment engineers process is. It's to help you get your confidence over your money, your time, your relationships. You get your spiritual level, and then get to your genius. And if you can do your genius the rest of your life, that's a great thing. And that never run out of money, never have to worry about that. That's the most powerful of all of the economic side, the hard side of this process. So we want to communicate to you as much as we can about this and help you find the path easily. I know that Wanda's been working on another. You have another short.
A short?
Short, yeah.
No, I don't. We'll save it for. I don't know. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I've been working on some stuff for the book and some audio versions of Social Security, the book, how tax code 664 saved Generation Alpha and the nation. I really did it to myself that one. Okay. Yes. So I'm working on the audio version of that, and
we have a bookshelf also. Yeah. We have a bookshelf that's on our endowamerica.com. We have 3 websites, actually 4 websites.
Actually, just go to the one.
Go to the one, which is the most important one, which is Discovery 664.
Oh, is that the important one now?
That is.
Okay.
And then endowamerica.com encompasses everything that we're doing, including social charity and also the Society of Endowment Engineers. So there is a Society of Certified Endowment Engineers. These are people who have the skill set and the ability to do blueprints for you, to create planning schemes or planning schematics so that you can share those with your advisors to make you able to use 664 easily. There are a lot of components to it, and we invite you to watch the podcasts to pick up on how some of these things work, and also you'll get an idea of what the spiritual relationship is. We try and entertain you with the podcast, so be sure to tune in.
Let me get about the bookshelf.
Sure.
I really want, since we're talking about the whole spirituality thing as of money, The End of Scarcity is one of my favorite books by Kristen Ragusin. We had her on about a year ago, maybe not even that. The End of Scarcity, great book. It's the dawn of the new abundant world. Stop living for the money. Achieve the life you dream of. It's a great book. Great read. And I don't generally read or recommend books about money because, you
can find her interview on podcast.
Yes, you can.
On our YouTube channel. Just look up Kristen
Ragusin. Aragusin.
And use my name, Les Winston,
sure.
And it'll come right up. So we'll be with you again, same time, same station next week. We'll talk to you more about 664, how it can change the world, how it can change your life individually, change the planet for the better, and end poverty, disease, and protect the earth. That's what I always say.
And bring you some joy, too.
Have a great week.
Visit the website.
Yep.
What is it?
Discovery664.com. endowamerica.com.